I'm Strajher. Perhaps you've been on the session before on some kind of technical track. So basically I act as a consultant, as advisor in IBM for the Central Eastern region, mostly for the private cloud implementation. Also, if there's interest to ship the customer, also for workloads to the public environment, then I'm also running the so-called workshops and consultancy how to migrate the environment to the public cloud. So this session basically it's called Successful Journey to Cloud. It's non-technology, it's nothing like technology here. I assume that technology can support all these requests to how to shift the workloads to the cloud. So I divided something like, as a starting point, most of us already know all these elements like drivers and benefits, and just to start the conversation and the presentation. The next one is strategy design for cloud computing. How to approach if customer wish, or if we wish to move some of our workloads, some of our environments to the cloud environment, either to the private one, or to the mixed environment, or completely to the public environment. What is suitable for that, what is not. And then at the end, if we do have a strategy and design how to do it, what kind of workload we can shift there, and how to transform that, and how to move it to the cloud. What we have to take care about. So basically, just to start, why cloud? Basically, as an infrastructure where we utilize virtualization, how to increase the utilization of the infrastructure. Then we have high growth of information around the world. One of them is also the cost of the maintaining existing infrastructure, lowering the cost, how to invest in something new. And later on we have also the security notification, security here, and also the consumer products, and we can use this, how they lost, how many of dollars they lost with their infrastructure. So, how to address this, and basically cloud environment. I'm not talking about virtualization environment, most of the cloud environment, because cloud is about the virtualization part. We're having here how to leverage the infrastructure, and also how to address the labor. So basically, within the utilization infrastructure, utilization, you will have more outcome from that existing infrastructure, a new one. And by the cloud environment, the self-services, automation, and standardization, which is one of the important elements, how to do the standardization of the workloads, you will increase your, so-called, let's say, you will spend less to do something if this stuff is implemented. So self-services, automation, and standardization workload. Why is that? Basically, it goes from the C-level, when you're addressing here what kind of problems they're seeing at the moment, from CEO, from CF, from CFO, and from CIO. Basically, finance would like to cut the budget for everything. Chief executives would like to have the, let's say, innovation, fast possibility to change the environment for the market trends, and things like that. And IT personnel, or the chief information officers, have to satisfy all these elements here. Basically, how cloud is one of the elements how to achieve and satisfy all the requirements here. And also requirements of the chief information officer to be flexible, to be reliable, and also to use user adoption environment. So, to move something to cloud environment, we have basically two ways how to do it. One is the so-called evolution. It's one of these, and I strongly suggest that this one is used. Or let's say if this one is not written here, it's a revolution. It means you shift everything there, then you can have a problem. Basically, customers should start, if they're building their own private cloud, from the consolidation of their infrastructure. Then we have to step further on to make it virtualized. It means put hypervisor inside to make virtualization of the switches, networking, storage. Then above that we have to standardize the elements, especially the images, especially the services which we like to provide. We have to do the automation. The automation, we will avoid any kind of human mistakes inside. Sometimes we, let's say, said when you presenting the cloud environment and do all the elements, we need this is that for, I don't know, this CPU, this RAM, and click submit, and said, okay, it's sent to provision, and we said, okay, the administration got email with all the elements, we go down in the data center and install it. There can be mistakes. If you automate it, either it's done or expelled, so there is no kind of mistake that something is wrongly configured. To be successful in infrastructure, you have to have it shared. As I mentioned in the presentation before, also, if you're talking about a public one, you have to be multi-tenant enabled, so separate the customers. So there's no chance that each one of customers can go to see the data or hack the data from other customers on the same environment. And you go up here to the cloud-based provision for standardized workloads. So, and then basically you will have the catalog of the services and the possibilities. What can you request from the provider or from your internal environment? And the shift is from standard managed services up to the cloud delivery. So it's also the question was on the first presentation about SLAs. It really depends. What kind of workloads would you like to put on the cloud? And how the cloud is built. It's suitable for that workload or it's not. So it's not the case that everything can go in the cloud environment. What are the benefits? Most of us know that it's a virtualization, which will cut the cost of the infrastructure, externalization, and automation will cut the cost of the labor, and we got the actual cost down, the flexibility of the environment coming up. So basically also when you have the requirements to additional resources, you just have to add them, configure it, the system will expand to the newly implemented one. Now, are all workloads ready for the cloud? Basically not. So, if you're looking here, this, and this is, let's say, separation of some kind of a high level. So it really depends on the characteristics of the workload. Can we shift it or we cannot shift it? So basically, this one here is already enabled to do it. So shift it. With this one, we can have problems. Either we will have, let's say, information density. Either it's suitable for shifting to the cloud. What do we have with that? Do we have any kind of the benefits if we one piece move somewhere else or not? Or, for example, are we trust our provider so much that we can put our sensitive data there or not? So basically, it is possible, yes, but it has to be considered what will we shift to the cloud and what will not. How we are approaching to the cloud, let's say, strategy implementation based on technology points, which I mentioned before in the presentation. Now we are here on the consulting part. It's actually separated in 3 steps. To develop the cloud strategy, what we want to achieve, prepare the infrastructure for the cloud, and target specifics more for the cloud deployment. What we will shift there. Or if we are talking about public cloud environment, how the public cloud, existing public cloud environment can fit in our cloud strategy, and how we can shift our workloads, what kind of workload we can shift either to our infrastructure or to the hosted, let's say, public cloud environment. For that purposes, IBM developed 2 or 3 consultancy services. Based one is strategy design for cloud computing, next one is workflow analysis and transformation services, and we also have business development for this one is specialized for the cloud providers. So I mean, the business model, how to enable either telco or new customer to provide the cloud services for the customers. So, if you're looking at cloud computing, we have qualitative and quantitative benefits of cloud computing. One is from the cloud service consumer, what they really need, and have flexibility, so they can choose when they need something and for how long. Flexible pricing, pay model. Basically, I need it for 2 days, I'm going to pay you that kind of amount. After that, I need to pay more. And of course, they have something linked to the market to be able to, with IT, follow their business requirements. For cloud service providers, it's advanced virtualization, elastic scaling, and rapid provision. It's to shift basically to fulfill the requirements of the customer consumers. Utilize the infrastructure, enable elastic scaling to add or remove infrastructure, and to do the fast provisioning of the required resources. Cloud strategy and design services. As mentioned, basically before, identify where and how cloud computing can drive a business value for the client. Access the current environment, provide proposition. Of course, you have to, when you define something, you have to have approval from the upper level of the board managers how to, you want to they see something valuable for them to implement. And also develop a strategy plan and roadmap how to successfully implement the cloud environment. Either it's mentioned privately or publicly. It's all about enabling to improve the services, reduce the cost, and mitigate the risk in the information technology. Cloud service consulting focus on elements can we utilize cloud services. That's basically we have some kind of IT environment. Is cloud environment suitable for us or not? Can we gain something from that? How do we support our business initiative, our business mission? Are there any likely benefits from that? Would our current IT infrastructure support cloud delivery model? Can we utilize the existing infrastructure? What we have to do with the existing infrastructure to be enabled to provide the cloud services inside? And also, what specific improvements we need to conduct to be able to provide services? And of course, when do we start? How will we start with that? Elements are three elements: identify identification of the target cloud delivery model, evaluate existing IT workloads. Basically, this one, what are your goals? What do you want to achieve in the cloud? What kind of workloads you have, and what kind of infrastructure you have, and where you have to be to do that. This approach is 5 steps. Usually it took a couple of workshops and let's say 2 or 3 months of work to do that. Not all the time in the client premises. So it's not so intensive, but you have to collect and you have to discuss lots of elements here. So it's basically the first one is already the strategic alignment. Your current environment, where you want to go. What is the opportunity for the cloud within the environment? Assessment of the IT maturity level of the IT environment in the organization. Do the prioritization, what are the most, where will you have the most success if you move some kind of workload to the cloud. And of course, report with all these elements inside. Why, how, and where do you have to go. On the first stage, we developed optimal delivery model. It's a mix basically from delivery models. You want to have it on a private in-house or on a shared environment, so called public cloud. Basically mix of variable pay, financial models, how do you want to pay for the services. So this is the first steps where we target the customers what they really need. And this is not that IBM or our consulting services will decide. It's based on the workshop with the client. What are the, let's say, level where they want to go, what they want to achieve. Then we have adoption framework, so call it, where we conduct the cloud service layers and organizational scope. So within the exploratory cloud, we call it so-called a traditional IT, that means cloud environment within the data center. And this one left is dynamic cloud, it's public cloud environment. So basically we notify from these four elements, from the infrastructure to the business cloud services, where do we want to fit. They want to be consumer, or they want to be provider. In this case, we have green or gray color. It's basically there for this one, infrastructure cloud services, consumer or integrated. It means they would like to have also the infrastructure in their premises and also connect to the public one and have it to integrate. This one is strongly related to the IT. When we do the gap assessment on the IT, we develop something similar like this. So this model or graphical representation of the observation from the IT environment to the sentence where the customer currently is from the perspective of the points here. So service automation, for example, IT network resources, and the green one show us where they have to go. Based on this one, we develop a complete roadmap how to be here on this level. The size of this, the border of this green level depends on the model here, what they actually want to be. So this, if they want to go to the provider level, then most likely they will have to be everything green, because they have to satisfy indeed all these elements to become cloud service provider. So the final report for this one, for the IT strategy point of view for the cloud, is the gap analysis and the roadmap how to fulfill all the gaps to be enabled to implement the cloud environment. Basically from the level of the storage up to the service automation and all these elements which are in here. This one was for the IT strategy for the cloud, how to prepare the IT infrastructure for the cloud. And we have this, after this one, the client decides to go to the cloud environment or to build the private one, we have the also services for the workload, so-called workload transformation ones. What kind of workload client will be able to put on the cloud. So it's not basically that each of them are mature enough to do it. Especially this one, also if client has, I don't know, 10 images or 10 servers, it's not suitable for them because you can do it by your hand, I mean manually. It's easier, but if you're talking about 100 virtualization, thousands, then it can save you up to the 60–50% of the time to do the analysis of the complete workload and how to shift it. So when you define your strategy, you identify cloud deployment model, you know the cloud infrastructure, what they have to do, and understand the infrastructure service will be developed in the public cloud. In this session, this consulting as transformation workflow for the cloud, it's improved decision-making capabilities. You know what you can shift there, but then you have to prioritize that what we can migrate to cloud. What are the best benefits if we shift some kind of workload to the cloud? Oops, sorry. Then automated manual tasks to reduce handling time to 66%. Basically, we have conduct all the analysis, assessment of the infrastructure, and upload it to the IBM proprietary tools. We have complete environment, complete decision what and where and how to shift or how to migrate environment to the cloud environment. As benefits, basically it's that decrease your time to evaluation and assessment of each potential workloads in a way how to shift it to the cloud. For example, when you know that you're targeting infrastructure like that and you have 1,000 virtual machines or 1,000 separate servers with different resources, with different disk requirements, after assessment, and you receive complete reports how to do it and in which way to shift all these elements here. Perhaps some of them will not be able to shift because the cost of implementing some kind of feature in the cloud environment is too high to shift that kind of workload there. So basically we leave it as it is because there's no benefit for doing that. Key decision criteria for post-consolidation are basically will workload run on target cloud environment. This application, for example, is designed and developed in a way that can run in virtual environment. Can you manage it from the different tools? Basically, from the substance performance, the requested performance specialized, let's say, database transactions, the target cloud environment can support this or not. If you're talking about the compliance and security, especially for the government or the banks, is this in line with their requirements? And what are the benefits, either operational or improved service level, if we shift our workload to the cloud? We have three elements here. The challenge we can address, what our services can do here, and the value actually can deliver. It's not value, what we, but basically what this transformation or workload analysis can provide to the client. It means automation, manual tasks, enable quantity cost benefit analysis and move cloud to the cloud. And also one of the most important also unification position workload to possible delivery from target cloud to transfer the benefit. So why we will do that? Complete workflow analysis start from the all engagements will start from analysis the environment. What is there in the customer premises? I mean, what is there in the data center? How does it operate? What kind of resources is required? Then, after this one, is building the business case justification. Why we do that? Of course, somebody has to approve it. And then, after that, is the implementation of that, how we implement it and how we migrate the workload to the cloud environment. And then it's completely, it means execution or transition of this workload, how to shift it to the cloud. How we look at that, basically it's not, okay, we're going to build cloud, we'll develop that, then, okay, migrate this, my environment here to that environment there, or you have the catalog, you provision, you start running, and it stops. So basically, we need to know, we have to know what it's all about, what customers would like to shift to the cloud. We have to analyze it. And then you can say, yes, for these 10 of them, 6 of them is suitable. With, let's say, second one is the most cost benefit to shift it to the cloud. In IBM Complete Portfolio, we have consulting division, we call cloud consulting, basically conducting those two sessions here. Also services to do the cloud implementation, either private one or shared one or the public one for the cloud service providers. And also, as IBM, we also have already in place for 1.5 or 2 years public cloud environment on 6 locations worldwide. Within the cloud, actually, we started internally. So we shrink our data centers, numbers of our data centers dramatically. Basically, we have, I think, something like 1.1 against 4 investment gain. So those data centers actually, as mentioned, which are the cloud labs. One is not here, it's in Krakow, specialized for the Tivoli products. Then we have smart business clouds, which actually are hosted on public cloud environments, so customers actually can choose. Would like to have it in Eningen, would like to have it in Rio, would like to have it in Singapore, in Tokyo. And there is also services from the IBM as IBM Integrated Cloud data centers. So before starting this the public cloud environment, we did the internal. So there are lots of experience in that, how to build the cloud and how to offer it and how to manage the cloud. Management is one of the most important stuff. So again, I think this is it. I think we are all tired, so am I. So it's kind of questions. I'll try to answer it. If not, thanks for the attention and not falling asleep. No, okay.
Regarding the data center which provides services, cloud services, IBM.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a data center in Eningen. Eningen, it's the closest one.
That's the closest one. It's, I think, 30 kilometers from Stuttgart, something like that.
Is there any plans to have such type of DC somewhere, like in Poland or?
At the moment, no.
No. At the moment.
Because the infrastructure is quite, let's say, expensive, it's complex. So there should be a business model that will fit to implement something. But also it's possible to have it. ICE is a small country, so I always like to know that something is small and medium business in the US, it's enterprise here. And basically it's how to address it, but also it's possibility to have it as a managed environment within the region. So that doesn't have to be the operated and managed by the worldwide team, which actually sitting in Israeli, where the complete management system is. Also can be locally implemented, hosted, managed by but separately. But for the client, it is the same, just access. And of course, depends on the request SLA. Thanks.